How's it going, everyone? This is Daniel. In this video, we are going to be talking about Tesla stock and the overall stock market. We're going to go over a look at exactly what to expect for Tesla. We have some important news that came out that is related to Elon Musk and the Twitter deal. We're also going to be talking about some important economic data that's related to inflation coming out tomorrow, how that could affect the overall stock market and Tesla stock. So we're going to cover all this important information in this video coming up. As you can see over here, we have Tesla that is sitting at $707.73. We're up 7.43% to the upside. So it's looking relatively good for Tesla in the short term. The key price point level that we were watching yesterday was around $700. So we went above $700 and we closed above that. So that is a relatively good bullish sign for Tesla stock. When you compare Tesla stock with the overall market, as you can see, everything went up today, almost everything. We have Apple that's up, Microsoft, Google, Amazon that's up 4.3%. Yesterday we talked about that shareholders met and they approved the stock split coming up. It's going to be June 3rd. And as you can see, we have Tesla that performed relatively good compared to other stocks, up 7.43%. We have retail stocks that is also recovering. We have Costco that announced their earnings. They beat on revenue. Unfortunately, the stock is slightly down in the after hours, but we have the overall stock market that is doing relatively good in the short term. So we had some important economic data that we talked about yesterday. We have initial jobless claims that came in relatively good. We're expecting around 215,000. We got 210,000. Continuing jobless claims also was relatively good. And we have unemployment that is slowly going down, so that is also good too. So tomorrow we have some really important economic data we're watching, which is we're going to be getting information about inflation data for the month of April. So if that is a big surprise or if declines, that can definitely be very, very important, sensitive information that the stock market can react significantly. Let's go over and look at what to expect for the overall market tomorrow. So as you can see over here, we had a pretty good bounce overall. Yesterday we talked about that we are still in a range for the overall stock market. We bounced from the lows around 380. We're getting closer to the resistance price point level of around 415 at this price point level. And if we get any kind of a positive news come out, so the stock market reacts positively, we can have a pretty decent rally tomorrow. So that is going to be some important things we need to be watching out for. Unfortunately, we also got the GDP data that came out for Q1. It was negative 1.5% on the first report. They had a summary. On the summary, they're expecting 1.3%. But nothing really changed. They came in at negative 1.5%, the same. So that was not a data that significantly affected the overall stock market. The data that we saw even a few weeks ago when we initially got this negative GDP data is that the import-export numbers were significantly different. The US imported a lot of goods, and unfortunately, the overall global economy has been suffering a lot. And the exports were down massively. So that is the main issue with the GDP data that we got, why the US economy actually shrank by negative 1.5%. But let's talk about exactly what to expect for Tesla and also for Twitter. So we got some important news that came out that we're going to be talking about, Elon Musk and Twitter later on. But Tesla stock, as you can see, it's up 7.43% to the upside. So if we get any kind of a positive news tomorrow, the overall market just continues to go higher and higher. We could see Tesla closing at a pretty decent price level tomorrow. We can push up to 715 to around 720 tomorrow. If the stock market also goes up, we don't have any kind of negative catalyst, we could see a push up again. We have some important price levels that we're watching, which is around $750. If the Tesla reaches that price point level, that'll be great, but I doubt it. But of course, if we get any kind of negative news, of course, if the data is pretty bad, if inflation is still high and etc., we could see some form of decline depending upon how the overall stock market is going to be behaving. Of course, we got some important news that came out with Elon Musk and Twitter. So we have Musk pledges more equity to fund Twitter deal and scraps the margin loan. So we're going to be watching a detailed breakdown of what Elon Musk is doing. We know that Tesla investors have been very, very skeptical about him acquiring Twitter because he's using his Tesla shares as a collateral. It exposes Tesla in some form of way to uncertainty. So that is pretty bad for Tesla investors. And right now, the margin loans and the collaterals are going to be mitigated. So that is positive. And we're going to be seeing some of the positive, negative things that Elon Musk is doing right now and how that could potentially affect Tesla stock in the short term. As you can see, we also got Twitter stock that went up pretty good today. It was relatively up 6.35%. We have the Tesla that went up more than 7%. We have Twitter that also went up 6.35%. So we're going to be watching a detailed breakdown of exactly what this deal is, and let's check out the video.
Elon Musk increasing his equity commitment for his purchase of Twitter. Julia Boorstin has more on what it means for both shareholders of Twitter and Tesla, certainly helping Twitter shares, though nowhere near that 54.20.
Nowhere near that 54.20 mark, but Twitter shares are up about 5% this morning as Elon Musk moves forward with his plan to buy the company. Musk reporting to the SEC yesterday that he's increasing his total funding commitment to the deal to $33.5 billion. That's up from $27.25 billion. Now, this after a margin loan commitment expired with Tesla's shares down 34% since the deal was announced. He will no longer be borrowing against his Tesla ownership stake to buy Twitter. Now, the filing is saying that Musk is continuing to seek additional financing for the deal, and one place he's looking is current Twitter shareholders, including former CEO Jack Dorsey. He's talking to Dorsey and other shareholders about potentially retaining their stakes in the company following his takeover. That would be replacing parts of that financing commitment. Now, this filing came on the heels of Twitter's annual shareholder meeting yesterday, in which Jack Dorsey's tenure on the board came to an end, and Elon Musk also lost a key ally on the board. Twitter shareholders voted not to re-elect to the board Silver Lake co-CEO Egon Durbin, a longtime investor in Musk's companies. Now, shareholder advisory service Glass Lewis opposed his re-election to the board, saying he was overextended. Now, another Twitter headline yesterday, the company paid $150 million to settle a lawsuit filed by the FTC and DOJ alleging that Twitter misrepresented to its users the extent to which it maintained and protected the privacy of their non-public contact information. Guys?
Julia, this is all interesting, but especially to me, this part about trying to get existing shareholders to hold on to their stakes. Given what he's been saying, first he says, I'm going to give you $54.20 a share, which, if you're a big shareholder, you're probably like, yay, that's a lot of money, and you're especially happy about it with the markets down. But now he's saying, actually, no, too many bots, I'm not sure, maybe it's not worth that. And by the way, will you not cash out at all? And I think it's worth less than what I promised to pay you. Any sense of whether they might go for that?
Well, look, what I think was interesting, though, is that Twitter's shareholder meeting yesterday, they wouldn't answer any questions about the deal. All they said is we are moving forward with the terms as originally discussed. You look at the price right now, $39. Yes, it's up 5% today, but it's at $39 so far below the $54.20. And what I think is interesting is in this filing, Musk is just moving forward with a plan. I think one reason we see the stock up so much is because there wasn't a mention of renegotiation yesterday. So he's just trying to figure out the financing. And for him, having Jack Dorsey hold on to his shares has a double win. That's part of the financing he doesn't have to get. And he gets Jack Dorsey feeling invested and effectively partnering with him in whatever changes Musk wants to make on this company.
So let me know in the comments section below, what do you think about Elon Musk Twitter deal? Do you think he's going to be getting more funding when it comes to this deal that he's trying to complete, Elon Musk, to acquire Twitter? And some people are also stating that, okay, if he does not get any more funding, he might potentially sell more Tesla shares. We know that Tesla shares has been in a lot of pressure, even though we got Cathie Wood coming in and buying aggressively. She bought more than $20 million worth of shares this week. So if Elon Musk decides to sell more shares, that can have an impact on Tesla stock, but we'll see if we get any more updates. If he does not secure any form of investments for him to acquire Twitter, we'll see what Elon Musk's next move is going to be. But let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this whole saga? I'd love to hear your opinion. And of course, if you're new to the channel, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and of course, I'll catch you guys on another video. Also, if you want free stocks, check out the links in the description box below. But I'll catch you guys on another video. Have a wonderful day.